So I've been on the prowl for a new apartment to live in New York City, and I've been using the New York Times real estate tool to find something in my price range in the neighborhood where I want to live, which is the Upper East Side of Manhattan, where I currently live. And the thing I like about the New York Times tool is that it allows you to get very specific with what you want in a building and in an apartment. So it allows you to specify things like washer dryer in a building or balcony access, things along those lines. And after living in a pre-war cave for the past 3 years, I was intrigued to see that green buildings was listed among the search criteria. So just out of curiosity, I put in my price range and searched for a green studio apartment on the Upper East Side. And I wasn't really that surprised to see that nothing came up, but I wanted to see where else I could find one. So I decided to keep my price range, but search the entire city for a green building. Nothing. So I decided to give it one more go. I took out all of the search criteria, no price range, rent or buy, as long as it's a green building somewhere in Manhattan, go. Nothing. So does this mean that there's just no green residences to be had in all of Manhattan? Not necessarily. They may be in scarce supply, but depending on who you ask, they may or may not really be green. After I concluded my search, I called up New York-based architect Chris Benedict, who told me that the term green is used rather loosely, and it often applies to what happens at the modeling phase, which isn't always what you end up with after the building is constructed, because so much goes on between computer modeling and the actual construction of a building that the modeler really has no impact on what the outcome is, yet the term green is still applied no matter what you get in the end. So this isn't really great news for green buildings in New York City or anywhere else, but Chris was optimistic about the fact that passive housing, a standard that was developed in Germany, has sort of become an internationally accepted standard for sustainable architecture and is being applied to new developments in New York. So good news for the future? Perhaps, but in the meantime, if it's greenery that I want in my next apartment, I think I will have to settle for a houseplant.